Good morning. My theologian, Shawn Copeland, was in our readings this past week. One of the ways she addressed humanity was from the standpoint of being black in America. In her book, Enfleshing Freedom, she said we live in a Negro-phobic society and that the phrase, black is beautiful, disturbs the hegemony of a white, racially bias-induced horizon and shakes the foundations of its unethical deployment of aesthetics and power. In our readings, she talked about election versus entitlement. Election has to do with being chosen. The children of Israel were elected or chosen by God. Copeland says to be chosen in the biblical context is an event of obligation, and that God elects a people for God and for others. She calls this a relationship of irrevocable responsibility and expectation. She says, however, the contemporary societal context culture calls humanity for itself rather for others, which strips away all references to chosenness by God and for others. Copeland states, this self over other can be summed up as an attitude of entitlement. It assumes that one deserves this or that at all costs, even to the detriment of others. Black people in America have had to deal with the attitude of entitlement by white people. Copeland says this racism does not rely on the choices or actions of a few isolated individuals. It's institutionalized. It is both an ideology or biased way of thinking and a set of practices. Copeland also states what is so tragic about racism is it justifies and maintains social oppression, not only through the formulation of false and misleading arguments, but also poisons human potential for authentic religious, moral, psychological, and spiritual growth. She says racism is idolatry and spoils the spirit. I call racism a demon from the darkest pit of hell, and those who participate in it negate their opportunity to be in relationship with God. With this framework of racism, Copeland says black people have become objects as opposed to subjects. Our bodies have been desecrated and made to feel inhuman through chattel slavery, the Jim Crow era, and even up to present times. Copeland reminds us that during slavery, by law, black bodies, men, women, and children could be put up for sale at whim or need. She said the captive body is no longer subject, but object. She said these captive bodies also endured whippings, lacerations, abuse, rape, torture, and lynching. Copeland said these were idolatrous practices that not only violated black bodies, but also blaspheming against God, against the body of Jesus of Nazareth, against the body of Christ. Although we no longer live in the antebellum period, we still see remnants of it alive and well in America. So this is my question for reflection. In light of what we see going on in this country post-election, what can we do as the church to collectively show resistance against the all-right movement that has taken root and seems to be spreading throughout this country? Thank you.